Welcome to the porch. Pull up a chair, sit back, relax, enjoy the show. Now here's your host, Michelle Barras and Brian Swanson.
Well, hello there. Oh, yeah.
Peace. Oh, it's one of those days. It is. It seems like it has been a week. But anyway, welcome to Denim and Pearls.
It has been a week. It feels like it's been a month.
Oh, yeah, true. For sure. Anyhow, welcome to Denim and Pearls. I'm Brian Swanson.
My name is Michelle Barras.
And we are business casual.
With pearls of wisdom.
From the porch. That was called, everything I heard this week was, remember the pause. So I thought I would use the pause for dramatic effect in that case.
Yeah, he's BSing you.
Yeah. Anyhow.
We are tired. That's what we are.
I am not. I did 2 hours yesterday. I'm good.
Your eyes. Look at my eyes.
Oh, my eyes always look slanted. I can't help it. So anyhow.
I'm the Oriental. You've got the slanted eyes.
Yeah, exactly. Anyhow, our topic today is can't judge a book by its cover.
You can't judge a book
by
its cover.
Yeah, something about an apple tree and
What's
a tree.
Can't judge an apple by the tree.
Can't judge a tree by the apple. Or something like that.
No, you can't judge the apple by the tree. You
can't
judge
the
a daughter.
Honey.
You can't judge a daughter by the mom. You can't judge a honey by the bee.
Yeah,
it's Bo Diddley.
It's Bo Diddley. And a few other people have done it too, of course. But we're talking about all kinds of sort of serious things today, but not too serious.
Not very serious.
No.
This judge a book by the cover thing came up. Oh, wait, we have to do our sponsors first.
Okay, go for it. Where are they at?
Right there.
There.
Thank you so much for our sponsors. A Squared Promos. That's A2promos.com. Inc182.com. That is Inc182.com. They do all of the embroidery and screen printing needs. Oh, I forgot that A2 Promos does all of the swag things you might ever need for your business. And then, of course, embellishbutterfly.com does all the bling, like, we showed you our little cuffs that say, well,
bling, bling.
Denim and Pearls. Yeah, mine, this one that happened to say unapologetically you. But yes, our 3 sponsors right now, and we are looking for more sponsors because the cycle has started again.
Yep, we're almost into season 4.
Yeah, if you're interested.
What are we doing?
I don't know. If you're interested, go to Denim and Pearls podcast at gmail.com and say, hey, send me that thing. I want the form. Oh, I forgot we had 2 people already do that, and I didn't send the form over the weekend.
Well, we've been a little busy this week.
We were just a tad bit busy this week.
Which is why it seems like it's been a month since our last show, but it's only been a week. And we were really busy, crazy. I think it's all Michelle's fault, actually. It was your show, your book launch, your competition you helped bring to town, your other book event.
My 100 author event, and the women's Sing Hallelujah group. Conference that I was also in too. So we've had events doing bum, 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 bum. And of course, Brian's my tech guy. So he's always coming around with me doing all the sound. So wherever I go, he tends to be there too. And then he ran all the sound for the ultimate speaker competition. So
you know what, I had to brag on myself today.
Oh, go ahead. Do that.
I usually don't do that. You know that.
I know, do it.
I'm really good at it though.
Okay, what is it?
I figured out I'm really freaking talented.
You are. I told you, you are a jack of all trades, or in this case, a Brian of all trades. Yes. The man could do pretty much anything. It's rather impressive.
That's why they call me Just Brian.
Just Brian. He could do anything.
Because I'm not Brian the mechanic. I'm not Brian the computer guy. I'm not Brian the author yet. Brian the sound guy. So I'm just Brian.
He's Brian, my friend.
Just Brian.
Brian, who eats teriyaki chicken.
We all eat teriyaki chicken, don't we?
No, my husband doesn't.
Really?
It's too sweet. He doesn't like sweet meat.
Because most everybody that goes to Japanese don't like sushi, but they'll eat the teriyaki chicken. Yeah. But anyway, we noticed a few things this week. What do we want to start?
That my nose itches.
What
did we notice?
You had that problem the other day, but no. When we talk about judging the book by the cover. We noticed a few things this week, and we've seen people, pictures of people. Let's put it that way.
He's seen people. I saw people.
Okay, so I have problem with seesaw scene. Okay, anyway, we actually
what we did is we looked at the poster for the competition,
yes,
and we decided who was going to win simply by their picture.
And I think we both were off, weren't we?
Uh-huh.
very dramatically off.
Well, the thing is the person I chose wasn't there.
Well, that's not fair. You should have chosen another one then.
Yeah, I didn't bother.
You can't control
because
that.
you can't judge a book by its cover, and that's really what started that whole shebang. When you go into a room and let's say it is a competition, or let's go back to school where we all have been part of that. Spelling bees. When your teacher makes everyone stand up.
She's the smart one.
Yeah.
He's the dumb one.
Yeah, where they made us all stand up and we had to keep spelling words as it goes through. And I remember, having the person in front of me spell Bob, and I had to spell, supercalifragilistic. And I'm like, how are these words even in the same category?
I lost to the word chrome.
Really?
Yes, I forgot the H. And I knew it. And the sad part is I knew it because I had been working on them. You remember back in the day, you used to do model cars and you used to super glue them together and stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Everything on the car was chrome. And my word came up chrome and I forgot the H.
I lost on the word amplify.
AMPLIFIY.
Because I didn't do the F.
Amplify.
I put a PH.
Oh.
And the thing is you have to understand, I grew up in another country and my language was a little off because I was always using PHs and Fs the same. Mm-hmm. I couldn't remember which one did which.
Well, they are the same, really.
But I would look at them and I would do, well, that looks pretty. That's how I would spell. That looks pretty. That doesn't look wrong.
Do you judge your football teams by their color too? Or do you do it like some women do and they do it by the butts?
I do it by their shoulder to waist ratio is how I pick my football teams. But anyway, we digress here. So when I love you, Brian. Are you giggling?
It's funny.
Okay. So anyways, here's the thing. Just like in spelling bees, we're all going through and you looked around your room and you said, I'm not going to win, or I'm definitely going to win. Look at all these other people, whatever that judgment is. So we were in a competition and people looked across the room and said, I'm going to win. Mm-hmm. Or that person over there looks like they're going to win. And then there was one person who was so quiet. I mean, ridiculously quiet, would sit in the corner and was always off the crowd. Even when we would go out in breaks, this person would sit off in a corner and just sit there in the corner. Mm-hmm. And I remember thinking, it's really introverted for someone who's in a competition.
Yeah. Well, I have to say one thing though. We always talk about if you want to succeed at something, you have to talk it into reality. Yeah. I'm going to win. Yeah. I'm going to win. I'm going to win. Well, it doesn't always work.
No. And
sometimes it does, but sometimes it doesn't.
And usually if you're not ready, you're not ready.
Yeah, if you're not prepared.
Yeah, there's a time and a place for everything. Just because you don't win now doesn't mean you're not going to win later. Mm-hmm. It's just the person who won this event this time, I think if he and I were both on the same stage in July, it would have been a really tough choice, I think. Right. Between me, him, and Dr. Shelley, who was my second place winner, and the second place winner for this competition. If the four of us were on that stage, those judges would have had great difficulty deciding who was going to win. That's the caliber of speakers in that room. And what I was talking about with the one quiet person, it was like my husband accuses me of it. I am so, Michelle, I get kind of scattered brain, whatever. But when I'm focused, I'm like hyper focused. And then I come back and I do, what did I just say? It's kind of like that. These people were completely different humans off stage. And when they went on stage, they turned on. And then I told Brian, let's talk about you can't judge a book by its cover because it's Halloween. And you're going to meet a lot of angels and devils. And you've got to decide, are they really angels or are they really devils?
Or what's under the mask?
Yeah, what's under the mask? Who are they? A lot of us wear our mask every day. But in Halloween, people wear figuratively real masks, not figurative masks. And it got me thinking too, you can't judge a book by a cover. Who are you? And who are the people that you associate with? Are they wearing a mask or are you?
Well, see, I think you went down too serious of a route, but I think you're right. But going down, you went down
too serious. We'll go back up again.
Right. Let's go back to the fact that, you look at certain things and you make judgment calls, no matter what it is. I mean, if you go onto that big shopping center on the internet, okay.
Yeah, whatever that is.
Yeah, exactly. We don't have any idea what that is. But you go into there, you look at that and you look at the name of the company who's putting it out and you go, ew, that's a foreign name. It's got to be cheap junk. And then you look over at the other one and it's, let's say, Louis Vuitton. Well, yeah, okay, great. Well, you didn't read on because you read the cover and you read on and you find out that label was Louis Vuitton by Mingba.
Yeah. And I used to laugh about that living in Korea. People are like, oh my gosh, look at this Coach bag. It's so beautiful. Look at this. Oh, da, da. And in the corner, it looked identical.
Yep.
But it was made in Korea and it was some other name in there.
Yep.
You never know what you really are getting. So you have to be true to yourself.
Yeah.
I need to know who that.
It's Helene. Hi, Helene.
Hi, Helene. No, someone else with an M was up there.
Oh, Mike.
Mike was up there.
Mike Masso.
Hi, Mike. And then Erin was also there, but she popped up on my phone and then disappeared. So
Okay,
hello,
anyway.
those of you who are jumping on and saying hi to us. Please share this live feed for us because it feels like we've been gone for over a month and we've only been gone for a week. So please share the live feed.
Yep. Well, Helene makes a little bit of a comment here too. I agree with her.
I win all the time for it's my life is what I win and blessed to know.
Right. And you have to win within yourself. You have to.
Hi, Michael.
Oh, Ferris showed up. Hey, Ferris.
I finally got to meet Ferris.
He was at the show this weekend.
He was at my book lunch.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
thank you for going to the book lunch.
So, but now I forgot what I was saying. What did I say?
You said
Michael
Helene,
distracted me.
I win all the time.
I win all the time. You can win in your life and you can win for yourself and you can do those kind of things. But sometimes when it comes to a competition, you're not always going to win. I mean, life is a competition. One of the things that we've always talked about too is we look at some of these things that are going wrong with our society these days.
And you're going not serious?
Well, I'm not. But we always gave away first prize to everybody over a certain decade to the kids, and everybody was a winner, and there was no losers.
You get a car. You get a car.
Exactly. And we treated that generation like that, and now we've kind of, in a way, got those problems. But most of us our age understand what it means to win, what it means to lose. Some people mean just because they take second place, they meant they lose or think that they lose. Okay. Or lost. So I see what you're doing over here. You're trying to do a promo. You're transitioning. Where would you like to transition?
I'm transitioning to just because it feels like you're losing doesn't mean you really are. So like in this book, there are a lot of the 12 women in this book. We were all in situations where we thought we were losing.
Oh,
bad.
Yeah.
And we all come out on the other end far stronger than we were at the beginning. So just because you think you're losing, it's not a bad thing all the time. Sometimes when you think, oh my gosh, I lost, or so-and-so won this, it opens another door for something far greater than if you, that was it. I was told like when you win an award, let's say, I think it was American Idol. Let's say American Idol. I'm not sure what it was. It was something like that. And I wanted to audition for it. And someone who had been in it told me, you never want to win something like that. And I said, why wouldn't you? That'd be awesome. And she said, because once you win, you have to carry their title. You can never be yourself. You are always their brand.
Oh,
and I'm like, ooh. Sure. So what I thought was a big win that I would love this, it would put a stamp on you. You would forever be just like all these Disney singers, right? All the, what's that? Britney's and things like that. They became Disney singers and it took them forever to get.
Well, it's like, what was her name? Annette Botticello?
Yeah, she was always
a
Mouse
musketeer. I have an example though.
What?
If you look at her book,
you got to tilt it so it doesn't shine. No, tilt it.
It's not shining.
Like
it doesn't
Ken
matter.
Says do it this way. I learned something. Okay, go ahead.
Got the point here. However, what I'm looking at is Hold My Crown. If you were to pick this up off the shelf and didn't read the subtitle of it, it would seem like a book of royalty. It doesn't necessarily say, except for on here where you actually read it, where women of grit stories share stories of resilience. Okay. Hold My Crown then takes on a different meaning than royalty. So, I mean, you can take a perfectly legit book and a perfectly explained cover. See how I did that?
Yeah, I did.
And you can take those and it all means something. But if you judge it only by its title or you judge something, sometimes we meet people and the first thing that we notice is the fact, okay, we've got it in there enough now.
How to do that for all my fellow authors.
Just wait till I get mine. Okay.
I want to wait till you get yours.
I'm going to plaster banners all across everybody here so they can see it.
Because I'm going to write the forward for it.
Oh, now I'm being told by Ferris how to hold the book right.
Thank you, Ferris.
It's, but
Hi, Jennifer.
Anyway.
And Abigail. How you, both of you?
Anyway, let's come back. What are we going to talk about after the break?
We'll find out when we come back from the break. We'll
Soon-
go to break.
Yeah, we'll go to break, right?
See you in a bit.
About now.
Thank you for joining us on the porch. We share the nuances and lessons we've garnered from throughout our combined 40 years of life experiences. Talk from the porch is always serious, but full of laughter, and we're glad you're here with us. Like, share with a friend, and please subscribe to our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. And remember, join the conversation every Friday at noon Mountain Time. We'll see you on the porch.
You just never know what goes on backstage around here. I'm telling you what.
Well, I have to explain to you something. We are probably functioning at about a total of maybe 5 hours of sleep over the past week.
Oh, no, I got 2 yesterday.
Okay, now
I'm good.
6 hours of sleep over the We're delirious, exhausted.
Yeah,
No, but that's the part of life that we have. You know, in I guess we're in the kind of entertainment world.
It is kind of fun. So
We love it. We thrive
But you know
on it.
what? I thought our presentation on stage this weekend it wasn't the weekend. It was middle of the week. Anyway, our presentation was awesome this week.
It really was.
It really was.
We did a little bitty snippet of Denim and Pearls live on the stage
Right.
at the Antlers Hotel for
Which
ultimate speakers.
I also think is a good judge a book by its cover concept too, because everybody thought I was the little nonchalant guy sitting in the back of the room running
Well,
the sound.
he's the sound guy. He didn't talk. He just sits back there and says, "Here's your mic. Here's your mic." And so I went there and I was speaking. I was doing, the Michelle thing that I do.
Mhm.
And I intertwined my story to why I friended Brian and why we did this podcast, and then brought him up.
Mhm.
And he took that mic and we did what we do on Denim and Pearls. He said something snippy. I said something snippy back, and boom, we were Denim and Pearls again. It was beautiful.
I was actually waiting on a comment. I never got it though. That's kind of disappointing. I was waiting on somebody to say, "Why aren't you in this competition?"
Well, maybe you will be.
I might.
Why don't you come to Las Vegas in December? December 7th and 8th.
Might be busy then. I don't know.
I'm going. I'll be there.
We'll see what goes on.
I'll be there, so you should go.
Well, one of the things that I didn't know is I thought that the competition would have been a lot of preparation. Okay. I thought it would be something like, say, a TEDx where you really got to go in. Would you quit? I see that 6, 7, 8, 9. I saw Aaron's comment 12 times. You done yet? But I thought this was a competition where you had to be prepared like a TEDx, where you had to memorize your speech. You had to do this. You had to do that.
Yeah.
And then I actually sit there and I witnessed it. The competition, and it was amazing, and everybody on that stage was amazing. There should not, I mean, honestly, they should have gave a trophy to everybody.
It was,
but there is only one winner.
Ultimate speaker, you're pretty ultimate just for being in the room. Yes.
So, but I felt like I could have done it. I really did. I felt
you could have done it, and just like Aaron could have done it. You both could be in this on that stage easily.
Yeah, it's not as, in my eyes, it wasn't as difficult. Now there are some people who love to prep and do things like that. And maybe that might be tougher for somebody.
Here's my thing. As a speaker, when you're doing that kind of thing, especially at the ultimate speaker, my whole thought process is, and that's why Christoph does his whole, you do talks very quickly. There's no prep. And the reason why you do that is, as a speaker, you can come into a room and they'll say, "Oh, the other speaker didn't show up. We need you to talk on this subject."
Right.
Not even your own subject that you came in, on this subject instead, because we need you now. And so you have to be able to speak on any subject at any time and for any length of time. That is what a professional speaker does. That's why I get paid the bucks I do, because I can do that at a drop of a hat. Now, with Brian and Aaron, who will probably eventually be on that stage, I think we have to hold that up two more times.
One.
No, you have to show it right. There. Anyways,
we need to call this the Cold My Crown show.
That's a really good
Actually,
idea.
that's an idea.
Anyways, but the reason I say things like that is I really think right now that when you're doing things like that,
the Hold My Crown podcast, we get all the girls on at different times. We might have to start that next. We could do that like next week. Not for Denim and Pearls, but we actually do it for the book, because you gotta what do you call
it's
it?
a series, yeah, and we've got 7 more authors coming on.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I like
Wow, that was genius. Don't tell anybody.
Yeah, don't tell anybody. We're going to do it, okay? Aaron, don't tell anybody.
Don't tell anybody. That was a genius idea.
There, I'm wearing my crown. And I'm wearing my unapologetic award. I'm going to wear that too.
So yeah, I gotta regress back to what we were talking about as far as judging that book and judging the cover. Yes, we always have to make judgment calls. We always have to make decisions on whether we know, like, or trust somebody almost in an instant. It's part of our human nature. It's called first impressions.
Yes.
Okay. But you can't always trust first impressions because you have to understand the person first.
Well, we can go into how I met Brian.
Well, yeah. Well, we have talked about that. Many
The whole impression, that first impression is not always the correct impression.
Because I look like a creep then.
He looks like a creep. Yeah, don't bring that up.
From your past. That's all I said.
But the thing is sometimes your perception is based, well, not sometimes, all the times. Your first impression is based off of a sub-impression that you have in your head already.
Mm-hmm.
So my sub-impression when I met Brian is he was a completely different human. And I had a really poor judgment of him just because I associated him to something else. And it took intentional movements to look past that. So when you judge a book by a cover, which is natural, it is human instinct to judge a book by a cover. That is why book covers are pretty. You'll see how I did that. Pretty and shiny and catchy. That's why they have names on the side that make you want to do, ooh, pretty. I want to pick it up, because we do judge a book by the cover. The problem is we cannot just judge the book by the cover.
We
must
open
it to find out who this really is or what it's really about. So if you're having issues in your world right now and you're judging books by the cover, you're not giving a situation, a person, or whatever a chance. Our encouragement is don't judge the book by the cover. Go peek through at least that first flap and see all the really cool signatures of all the I won't say that. But, I'm really proud of this book.
Really? Are you?
And
I don't know why you are.
And one day when Brian finally listens to me as I keep pushing him off the cliff to try to fly, and he keeps doing this instead of doing this, he will have his book and he's going to keep holding his book up all the time.
You know the reason for that is because I'm too doggone technical.
I've got to show you.
I'm too much of a premonitionist.
Ken's book?
Yeah.
Ken Rashawn's book?
Yeah.
Let me show you his dissertation and you will write your book.
I'm too much a premonitionist.
A premonitionist.
Yes. Do you know that word?
No. What is it?
Have you ever heard of that word?
I think Brian just invented premonitionist.
Well, I like to premonition or
Maven Sanchez, hello.
Predict things that are going to happen. And my objective is when I do something, I want it to be a success. So when I think I'm going to write a book, when I think about writing it, I see all the glory and my name and lights and the whole 9 yards and 1 million copies, and I get $1 million record on the wall, whatever. I see all of that. And then I come back to reality.
Back to life, back to reality. My thing is, what would be so bad about that?
I don't have an artist. I have an excuse now. I don't have an artist.
See this man, our publisher? He has a lot of artists. He's very good at finding people.
I don't want to stand out in a crowd because I'm a kind of a background kind of guy.
I know a really good publicist who knows has a lot of connections. And see, here's
because
the thing.
I know I'll be ultimately famous once I write it. So
then catch up with me because I'll already be there by the time you write your book. You got to write the book first. So anyway,
I'll be back in the background and I'll just pop out. And here I am.
Please turn off your screen as I hurt Brian. Please stand by.
And she beats the hell out of me. Yes. Anyway.
Well, one of these days, as the coach and influencer I am, this man will have a book. And if it's in my time, because I'm going to be pushing him while I'm down after my surgery.
Is that Mobin or Mobin? I think it is Mobin Sanchez.
It's Mobin Sanchez.
Watching from the Philippines.
Yes.
We're famous. We're worldwide. We're international. Wait a minute, you already are, so there's no big deal.
About the same. Maven Sanchez is the producer for my show, TNC Mental Shift on TNC every Tuesday night at 7:30 p.m. Mountain Time.
You and these plug things.
It's what I do. I do a lot of things.
Goodness gracious.
One day when you have a book, you'll be plugging it too.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, for those of you with your businesses out there, whenever you're on any kind of podcast, whenever you're in front of a camera or anything, you must plug your business. So like this man right now
Would you quit talking about yourself?
This man right now should be saying, if you'd like to have a fantastic night tonight, Friday night at the Falcon's Edge Bar and Grill. You should come see me. I am DJ what?
Wildlife.
DJ Wildlife, rocking the KJ
Rocket
sound.
the Casbah.
Rocking the Casbah. And we're going to be singing and dancing till the wee hours of the morning with DJ
Brian.
DJ Brian? That's not what Wildlife. Over at the Falcon Bar and Falcon
And that's not
Edge
the
Bar
point.
Grill.
That's
But-
not the point. The whole point of the show is to judge a book, not to judge a book by its cover.
Well, would you think he could do music? I would look at him and do, now this guy's a mechanic or something. And the thing is he's really, 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 really good at music.
That's weird because everybody thinks I'm a nerd, so they think I'm in computers or I'm an insurance guy.
Well, see,
I sell insurance, but I'm not an insurance guy.
the thing is, when I first met him, he was always with old cars. So to me, he's a mechanic. People don't have older Mustangs unless they know how to work on them. So that's really what I had in my mind.
Well, actually, they're learning tools. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, because once you work on something and you learn how to rebuild it, I mean, this is a true fact of life. No, whether it's computers or what, even the writing, you got to do it or to understand it and to be good at it.
See, Abigail agrees. She thought
So-
you were a mechanic too. Hi, Lisa. See, she said,
Thought I was a mechanic. Thanks,
See?
Abigail.
I'm telling you.
I'd rather be a mechanic than an insurance salesman.
Yeah. You don't wear enough suits to be an insurance salesman.
I used to because
Really?
I've another thing we talk about judging a book by its cover. I'm going to trail into that. Our dress also tells who we are too.
Mhm.
So we create that perception in people's mind by how we look.
Oh, like when I went to that conference I keep wanting to say the weekend, during the middle of the week,
Yeah.
someone said, I don't know what you do, but the way you walk and the way you dress, are you a singer or an actress?
Bassoon player.
And I so wanted to come up with something, and I couldn't think of anything fast enough. And I said, oh, good call. And then they called me up on stage and he's like, oh, you're a speaker. But he had made a judgment call that the way I dressed, the way I spoke, the way I walked, that I had to do something with the microphone. And he just assumed it was music.
Mm-hmm.
So
Somewhat
by the
right.
cover, he was close because I
Somewhat
do
right.
tend to sing.
But we all do that. We judge the people by just when they walk by. Up, he's a salesman. Up, he's a mechanic. Up, she's a whatever, the president of the United States. Whatever. It doesn't matter. They walk by us, we make that judgment call until we sit down with them, and then we understand that there may be a whole lot more to that person. It may be the fact that they can speak like there's no tomorrow. It may be that they can tell stories like there's no tomorrow. It could be anything. They could be a PhD times 3 in 7 different languages.
Like our publisher.
Yeah, exactly. You just never, and he just looks like a doofus. Even though he loves me.
He's a wonderful guy. Dr. Smiley. Yeah, look him up. He's really cool. But yeah, he's a goofball, but he's a doctor and he's a real doctor, not a medical doctor.
I have to agree with Helene.
What? Keep smiling? Keep sinning? No.
I know she meant
She meant
singing,
smile.
but that was
Singing.
funny.
You're a dork. He's a dork.
You keep sinning.
I'll keep singing. I'll keep singing.
Oh.
So whenever you're thinking about, oh my goodness, I'm such a bad person, I'm judging someone by their cover. Remember, it's human nature.
Right.
The problem doesn't come in until you don't give that person a chance. You only judge them by the cover. There's a lot of those Facebook videos where they show the actors and actresses, and this person was rich and treated people really badly, and then 10 years later they're poor and they were a waitress, and that kind of story. Have you seen those?
Yes.
Okay, so just remember, karma comes back at you.
Bite you in the ass.
It'll bite you. So when you judge a book by the cover, make sure that you give someone another chance. Make sure you pull off at least a layer or two of that onion before you decide that it's an onion and not actually something wonderful.
Well, if Mikey's still here, I've got a story. If Mikey's still listening or watching, Mikey actually gave me a name when I was in the military.
Oh.
We won't give his one. That's a whole other story.
Okay, what's your
But
name?
He actually called me Poindexter.
Because
I always looked like the guy that was wanting to rule the world and knew everything.
And he had he had the BCGs, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. You should see pictures of Brian. He really does look like the ultimate.
But that name is actually stuck around. There's people who don't even know my name is Brian. They actually call me Dex.
Oh, I can see that.
because it stuck around for so many years because that was a military thing.
I would call you Dex too.
So-
They called me Spaz.
Yeah. So another thing is too, if once you know the fact that you can't judge a book by a cover, and you know that people are judging you by your cover, you can make a change to the outside, and then it's called fake it till you make it kind of thing. But you kind of, if you up your dress or something like that, if you don't dress so well sometimes, if you up your dress a little bit, it could change people's perspective of you, at least to get you in the door for your presentation.
I did something so simple when I was adjusting to whoever I am. I didn't know how to wear makeup at all. I did not. And it wasn't until I was like 45-ish, I put eyeliner on. And then I learned how to do my eyebrows. My eyebrows. And it changed my world because it gave me the confidence to walk straighter. It's something that simple. And no, Helene, you don't have to worry about, don't apologize for chemo brain. With me, I always do, I would spell INGINN just because the way it is on my keyboard when I'm typing, my hand slips and I forget. So I wouldn't worry about it.
I wasn't worried about it. I just thought it was funny.
I know Helene's worried about it. She said, sorry, chemo brain.
No worries.
Yeah, no worries about
No
that.
No sorries needed. I do that and I don't have chemo brain.
Yes. Well, and the thing is just remember, I always say, be the best version of you every day and be unapologetic about it. So be the best you, and whatever that is the best you, show up that way, because people are judging you anyways. You might as well be the judge of yourself and be the best that you want to be. Who cares what everyone else thinks? As long as you know.
But sometimes, I mean, when it comes to the judging of the book, you've got to get your foot in the door.
Yeah.
And sometimes that helps. And sometimes all it is getting a haircut.
It could be something as simple as when you walk into a room, keep your head up and eye contact.
Shoulders back, chest out, gullet in.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Like this, and just kind of smile. But if you walk in with your head down, people make a judgment call that you don't know what you're doing.
It's walking with confidence. It's carrying yourself with confidence. I have a really bad one with that one because I don't have a straight posture. I'm not an up and down posture kind of guy, so I slump a lot. So when I walk, if I don't think about it consciously to walk into a room for the first time.
I've never seen you slump when you're walking.
Oh yeah,
all the time when we're sitting.
When I sit, for sure.
Because if you ever notice, I have my hand back here. I'm poking him in the back.
Not too much because that tickles.
But I poke him in the back when he starts slumping because I'm like, I am 5'0", and he slumps and gets shorter than me. That's how you know when he's slumping.
So anyhow, sometimes all it is carrying yourself a little bit more with confidence, a little bit more with pride, being that person you know that you can be, having that empowerment of control of yourself.
Best version of you.
Being the best, yeah, it's the best version of you, but this is so generic. I mean, I get it. It's a good way to sum it all up, but it definitely sums it up. But sometimes it's like, okay, instead of that stupid t-shirt, maybe you want to throw on something with a collar. And make sure it's ironed.
But say, instead of crumpling your t-shirt or letting your clothes sit in the dryer so they're all wrinkled all the time,
right?
Perhaps even if you don't want to fold them, pull them out when the dryer's still warm and hang them over a chair so they're not wrinkled. That is how simple it can be.
Right, and it's free.
And it's free.
She told me to behave.
Yeah, behave.
I just have one question. Maybe Helene knows.
What?
I lost my red ball yesterday. Nobody can find my red ball.
Red ball. You did that to Sally.
I did that to Sally.
Okay, please clarify what is the red ball from. Does anyone know what the red ball is?
The red ball, I'll make it really simple. If anybody remembers Dick, Jane, Sally, and Spot.
C. Dick, C. Jane.
Yes, C. Dick, Run.
Remember those books?
Yeah. Anyhow, I walked up to Sally.
Just
jokingly, because her name is Sally. And I walked up to Sally and said, I lost my red ball. So I'm still looking for my red ball.
And so the kids' book, that was one of the stories. Is
anyway,
he lost his red ball and they go out.
You just got it's got Helene's looking for her pen. I'm looking for my red ball.
We found her pen.
Her purple pen.
We found
I need my red ball.
Now we need purple root beer.
Anyway, I think we've gotten off kilter.
Back to life. So
don't judge a book by its cover.
Don't judge a daughter by her mother. Don't judge a tree by its apple, and don't judge a what? What was the other thing he says in the song?
Honey by the
And
Bee.
don't judge the honey by the bee.
And that's just the first 3 chords, or
Yeah.
first 3
It's a really
stanzas.
good funky song too. Don't judge a book by its cover.
Look it up.
By
Bo Diddley.
Bo Diddley.
And a couple other people did it.
I know
Bo
Bo
Diddley
Diddley.
is the one we're talking about.
So, anyways,
Mhm.
don't judge a book by its cover. Remember, there is so much more to a person and to a situation than what appears on the surface. Stop bouncing. You're making me dizzy. There's so much more. When we went to a competition, it says competition. You think people are going to be there stabbing each other in the back, but it wasn't a competition. It was an uplifting, everybody wanting to do something together and better, right? And then don't judge a red ball by its Sally.
That's awesome.
That's
Thanks,
funny.
Abigail.
Thank you.
I think it was Abigail, right?
It was Abigail.
Okay. It faded away.
Now, here's the thing. We all do it. It's part of humanity to make judgment calls. Just remember, when you're making a judgment call, make sure that it's a right judgment call before you take it to any other level. Okay. And Brian and I are very, very, very sleepy and a little crazy and a little wacky, and we still have a really late night to go through. So we'll see you next week, Friday, here on Denim and Pearls, every Friday at noon Mountain Time.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe and go watch some of our older shows. If you're a new watcher, a couple of you are new watchers. And if you're interested in being a sponsor for Denim and Pearls, it's the new season. We're looking for new people for the next couple of months. And we are still looking for a video reel for the center. So if you're interested in that, we will send you. So go to Denim and Pearls podcast at Gmail and say, I want the form. And
okay. Are you done selling things now?
That's what we're supposed to do. Do you want to stay on Denim and Pearls? Do you want us to be able to fund Denim and Pearls to keep us going? We must keep selling things. So you all know how that ropes. And we'll talk to you soon. We'll see you next week, Friday at noon. Wait.
Got to get the shades.
Peace.
Oops, I forgot the other button.